Hi guys! Welcome sa Zip9. In this video ay tutuloy natin yung series natin on calculus. Sa video na ito, pag-uusapan natin yung squeeze theorem or tinatawag din natin na sandwich theorem. So this is a very informal way of describing the squeeze theorem. If f of x is between g of x and h of x at an interval, and the limit of g of x and h of x as x approaches a is equal to L, then the limit of f of x as x approaches a is equal to L. So sabi niya yung f of x is between g of x and h of x. So kita naman natin dito sa graph na yung graph ng f ay between h and g. Sabi niya pag yung limit daw ng g of x as x approaches a is equal to L, kita naman natin dito, di ba? Both the left hand and the right hand limit goes to L. So ito yung kanyang limit, which means that the limit of g of x as x approaches a is equal to L. Diba? Kasi pareho yung right hand and left hand limits niya. And kita rin natin na yung limit ng h of x as x approaches a ay L din, di ba? Kasi left hand and right hand limits niya ay L. So L din ito. Now since f of x is always between h of x and g of x, ibig sabihin the limit of f of x as x approaches a is also L. So nakasqueeze siya doon sa dalawa. Therefore, its limit as x approaches a is also equal to L. Now, sa next slide, this is a more formal way of saying it, more mathematical. Now, suppose that f of x is greater than or equal to g of x, but less than or equal to h of x for all x in some open interval containing a, except possibly at x equals a itself, and suppose that the limit of g of x as x approaches a is equal to the limit of h of x as x approaches a is equal to L, then the limit of f of x as x approaches a is equal to L. So this is just a mathematical way of saying what I've explained in the previous slide. Now, kung napapansin nyo, meron siyang equal sign, no? It's because it's possible that the functions are equal at some point, no? For example, at this point, equal ang h of x tsaka f of x. And also, at this point, equal ang g of x tsaka f of x, no? Now, kailangan din na ang inequality na ito ay true for that given interval. Kasi pag hindi totoo yan, for example, mas malaki yung f of x at some point, hindi natin sigurado na mas-squeeze siya, no? Kasi at this value, for example, mas mataas yung f of x kaysa sa h of x tsaka g of x. So, hindi natin masisigurado na may squeeze siya doon if the inequality doesn't hold for all values in the interval. Okay? So, yan lang yung sinasabi sa squeeze theorem. Okay, so this is an example. What is the limit of cosine x divided by x minus 1 as x approaches infinity? Mahirap ito makuha kasi yung limit ng cosine x as x approaches infinity does not exist, no? Ang graph ng cosine x, kung maalala nyo ay, I'll show you. Ito yung graph ng cosine x. So, as x approaches infinity, so the limit does not exist. Now, anong alam natin sa cosine x? Alam natin na yung value ng cosine x is between negative 1 and 1. No? Kita nyo naman sa graph kanina, di ba? Both sine and cosine x, ang maximum value niya ay 1, tsaka ang minimum value niya ay negative 1. Now, if we divide all the expressions by x minus 1, we have negative 1 divided by x minus 1. This is less than or equal to cosine x divided by x minus 1. And this is also less than or equal to 1 divided by x minus 1. Na pag kinuha natin yung limit ng lahat ng expressions na yan, as x approaches infinity, this becomes the limit of negative 1 divided by x minus 1 as x approaches infinity is less than or equal to the limit of cosine x divided by x minus 1 as x approaches infinity, which is less than or equal to the limit of 1 divided by x minus 1 as x approaches infinity. Now, anong napapansin nyo? Ano ang limit ng negative 1 divided by x minus 1 as x approaches infinity? Palaki ng palaki yung denominator natin dito, di ba? Meaning, as x approaches infinity, negative 1 divided by x minus 1 approaches 0. So actually, ang limit nito ay 0. Pero natin alam ito, the limit of cosine x divided by x minus 1 as x approaches infinity. What about yung limit ng 1 divided by x minus 1 as x approaches infinity? Ganon din, palaki ng palaki din yung denominator nito, no? Which is very similar dito sa negative 1 divided by x minus 1. So pag palaki ng palaki yung denominator, palit ng palit yung fraction, which means it also approaches 0. So the limit is actually 0. And as you can see, nasa sandwich yung limit ng cosine x divided by x minus 1 as x approaches infinity sa dalawang zeros. Therefore, by squeeze theorem, the limit of cosine x divided by x minus 1 as x approaches infinity is equal to 0. So naalala niyo yung sa squeeze theorem, di ba? Lumalabas ito yung h of x natin, ito yung g of x, at ito yung f of x. So, in between yung f of x, kaya nasi-squeeze siya dun sa limit ng dalawa. Okay? So that's example 1. Now for example, we have the limit as x approaches 0 of x to the 6 sine 5 over x. Now, mukhang mahirap ito, no? Yung graph pa lang nito, di na natin ma-imagine, no? But we can use the squeeze theorem to find the limit as x approaches 0. Hindi siya ganun kahirap, no? Kasi gagamitin natin yung alam natin about sine functions. Yung sine 5 over x is actually between negative 1 and 1. Katulad din kanina, no? Whatever the value of the sine function, it's always between negative 1 and 1 inclusive, no? So, yun ang clue natin. Now, if we multiply all the expressions by x to the 6, we have negative x to the 6th is less than or equal to x to the 6th sine 5 over x, and this is less than or equal to x to the 6th. Now, if we get the limit of all the expressions as x approaches 0, so magiging limit ng negative x to the 6th as x approaches 0 is less than or equal to the limit of x to the 6th sine 5 over x as x approaches 0, which is less than or equal to the limit of x to the 6th as x approaches 0. Anong napapansin nyo? 0 ito, di ba? Substitute lang natin. And ganun din dito. This is also 0. So, the limit of x to the 6th sine 5 over x as x approaches 0 is squeezed between the two limits, and the two limits are 0. Therefore, by squeeze theorem, the limit of x to the 6th sine 5 over x as x approaches 0 is also equal to 0. Okay, so that's it. Sana ay nag-enjoy kayo, and we will see more of the squeeze theorem in the next videos. Maraming salamat. Sana nag-enjoy kayo sa ating video. Huwag niyo kalimutan mag-subscribe sa ating channel. I'll see you in the next tutorial.